All right, troops, welcome to the Action League. My name is Owen. How you doing, guys?
You're good.
Hey,
Alrighty, so tonight we're going to be talking about The Killer's Game with Dave Bautista, Sofia Boutella, Scott Adkins, and Daniel Bernhardt. So I literally watched this movie at the weekend at 3:30 in the morning. I was talking to John there, and if you haven't reached middle age yet, you've got this to look forward to, where you wake up in the middle of the night and that's you awake. I fell asleep at like 9:30 or something, and then I woke up at like 3:30, and I was like, yeah, I've had like 5 hours sleep. That's fine. So I was awake. So I watched The Killer's Game then, and I enjoyed it enough. I don't think it was amazing. I don't really know what I was quite expecting. I had a fun time with it. Obviously, Daniel Bernhardt and Scott Adkins were the main reason I wanted to watch it. And then Scott Adkins did a Scottish accent, and I was like, oh. And then they put the subtitles up, and I was like, oh, well, that's not insulting at all.
and they put the fake subtitle. It's not. It's translating what they're saying, which is funny.
Yeah, I could understand them perfectly, of course, but but yeah, I mean, like nobody can do a Scottish accent, though. It's funny. Like I've never heard an actor like do a good Scottish accent. I think it's one of the hardest accents in the world to do. I mean, when everyone raved about Braveheart, and I was like, yeah, I'm sorry, like Mel Gibson's accent is shite.
Gerard Butler does a great Scottish accent.
Yeah, Gerard Butler's definitely the best. Yeah, I mean, James McAvoy does a good one too.
There's a part-time gig for you. Just do some voiceover work for them, Mo, and just voice over all these awesome action guys.
Yeah,
I did voiceover work once for a commercial here in Canada on the radio for Innocent Gun beer. I was like, it was an Innocent Gun IPA. And it was because like the guy they did the voiceover was like wasn't a real Scot, and I was like, that's pish. That you need somebody actually real to do it, and I hate whenever they do like the mock. Okay, the new and all that, and I was like, yeah, we don't actually say that ever. But anyway. So Killer's Game was okay. I enjoyed it for what it was. The action was good. It was good and violent. Decent fight scenes. Daniel Bernhardt was fine for whatever his purpose was in it. But I'm going to have to have a coughing fit. So, Charlie, if you want to continue, I'm just going to turn my mic off. Over to you.
No, that's fine. This is a first time watch for me. I didn't even know anything about this movie till Owen brought it up, and I guess I enjoyed it. Kind of like Owen, I don't know how I feel about it. I enjoyed it, but I had a different thought of what the movie was going to be, because all I did was I just read the little blurb about it, and then I watched it. I didn't do a trailer or anything. And I got to say, I kind of wish they'd have done something different. I don't want to dig into it yet because I want everybody else to talk about what they thought about it. But it was fun. I got over the CG blood fairly quickly in this one. It wasn't as in your face as other
you're kind of used to it by now because it's just in everything.
I just kind of rolled with it. They did have like dismembered body parts, which I thought was funny. I was like, okay, you at least gave me practical props that way. The stunts were awesome. Batista, I believe him. He's a decent actor and decent action actor. And I like the one, I can't remember what her name is, but the girl from
Sofia Boutella.
Yeah, the Kingsman. I like her. She fits that dancer role perfectly. Easy on the eyes, so you kind of get it. But I don't have any real complaints about it, but I wasn't blown away either. Like I laughed when I was supposed to laugh. Good, there's some really good kills in this. I did go, oh fuck, especially when he runs that chick's throat across the broken glass of the window. I was like, holy shit, that was cool. And I did like they're in the bar with the I don't want to say their name wrong. What were they? They were the Korean gang.
Yeah.
Their opening, in that club, when that chick flips her serving tray around and it turns into weapons.
It was yin yang. It was a yin
yang. Yeah. I was like, that's badass.
Yeah.
Then she brought them back, and I went, now they look like a fucking cartoon, and I don't like them as much anymore. Like that it was a secret weapon and I liked it. And then all of a sudden, no, this is my gimmick. And I'm like, I don't like this anymore. Don't use them. And I didn't like how they ended up using them either. And I was just like, so I'm a little indifferent about this one. I'll tell about what I thought it should have been later, but that's my piece on it.
Yeah, no, I agree. So I just finished what I was saying before I had my coughing fit there. Yeah, I like Dave Bautista. There's something kind of very natural about him. He's much better than The Rock. He has more range. I think he's playing real. There's vulnerability to his characters, even when he's playing sort of a tough guy role or whatever. That there is just that sort of more human aspect to him, because I believe he's quite sort of an introvert in real life. That he was at I was at a screening whenever Guardians of the Galaxy came out, and he showed up into the Q&A, and there's just a bit of shyness to him almost, which is interesting. But I liked him in this. I thought it was nice to see him do something different. But the first while it was all like romance and everything, and I was like, oh, this is kind of a love story with action kind of thing. I was like, oh, okay, it's one of those movies. But I don't know. I mean, once it picked up, then there's plenty of action and good kills and things like that. And I like Sofia Boutella in it. And that was about it. But yeah, what Wolverine says here, surprised Gandhi didn't turn heel. Ben Kingsley kind of waiting for that to happen.
I was waiting. I was waiting too.
It was too predictable then. But
yeah.
Anyway, so that's what I say. Steve, welcome back.
Thank you.
So your thoughts on the film?
So I gave this movie a pass. If I'm using J-Man Space System, I give it a 5 out of 10. So that's a pass.
Yeah.
I didn't actually think Bautista was suited for this type of story.
No.
So I almost felt like there were two directors on this film: the romance, serious stuff, and the fun action stuff. And it's almost like like Thursday they couldn't get into fun guy, so they got into serious guy, and now it was serious, and then it was back to fun, and it just flip flop between the two a bit, and I was just like confused in a lot of the movie. I think Sofia Boutella thought she was in a different movie. She was playing that romance stuff hard, and it didn't feel like she had much to work with. I didn't feel like Dave Bautista I didn't buy it, the romance between them at all. It just felt very much like, oh, scripted. And then Sofia Boutella was like, oh no, I love you, and she kissed him, and she's like, I want you to remember me by this. And Dave Bautista's like, all right, I'm gonna go work out now. I had no idea what their role. I didn't understand the relationship at all.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I was annoyed, and I talked to J-Man about this. I was annoyed that all of the assassins got a super awesome beginning, like the Korean gang or the Scottish guys or even the strippers, and then it led to nowhere, because I'm going to use a wrestling term now. Dave Bautista does not sell. That man did not sell anything, especially against the Korean gang. He was an unstoppable brick wall. It didn't matter. He had one of those yin-yang blades hanging off his shoulder. He's like, yeah, I'm good.
That's I hated that part, dude.
Smashing people. And I'm just like, they did run-ups to Scott Adkins and Drew McIntyre showing up, and they do the goofy thing where Drew McIntyre's too tall. We get it. He's 6'5", yes. And he hit his head, which I'm like, okay, these are the goofy assassins. And then they just, Scott Adkins is a genius martial artist. If you haven't seen like Hitman 4 or The Undisputed, he's amazing. And he's hitting a brick wall in Dave Bautista. Dave Bautista just shrugged him off. I didn't like them having the explosives too, because it made the kills very impersonal at the end. It was just like, oh, he set a grenade. Oh, he set one of those, I call them bar bombs. I don't know what you call them. Those
are claymores.
Claymores.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you, Charlie.
America.
Made in America.
So it even lost that personal touch at the end. It was just like, okay, when's the next explosion? Okay, the next.
Canada's on top now. Sorry.
Whatever.
There you go.
I haven't said anything.
No, we're doing it geographically.
We're doing it geographically. So I felt like that.
Whatever,
I thought the action was really good when it did happen, and there were some brutal kills, which I enjoyed. I actually loved the priest character. I thought all of his lines were super funny. Like when he's I love the fact he's confessing to him. He's like, shouldn't you call the Vatican? He's like, well, they tell me to call the police. I love that.
That was a good line.
And it was I was completely out of left field. I didn't think the priest character would be that fun. But generally it was just like, Terry Crews is with that gangster, that wannabe guy. And I'm like, okay, here's what's going to happen. And pretty much it happened. I'm like, okay. I mean, there's nothing in here that pissed me off or anything. I was just like, it was just a missed opportunity in my opinion. And they needed to figure out what movie they wanted to make. Ben Kingsley was another joy for me because he brought some levity again to it. I loved where he's just sitting there, and then like Batista sits down in the chair across from me. He's like, "Oh, I didn't expect you," and it was just like a very genuine moment. It just came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Because Ben Kingsley was sleeping because he's old. Also, Alex Kingston, having her in the movie was genius. I always like to see Alex Kingston in movies, and she's actually the one who fixed Dave Bautista's problem because he apparently was okay with just having headaches throughout the entire movie. Yeah, it was fine. I don't hate it. I don't love it. It's there. I've spent movie was too long for what it was. Yeah. Having this movie is 104 minutes, 102 minutes, whatever it was, needed to be less than 90 minutes. You needed to cut some of that romance stuff out and get to the action quicker.
Yeah, no, agreed. It's funny. I think what we were kind of wanting was, I want this to be more like Smoking Aces, that kind of thing, where you want to be this like crazy, like super graphic action movie, and there's kind of that. So you've got like this like rom-com almost thing, and then the action movie like together. It's kind of like what The Fall Guy did, but this was better than The Fall Guy. Soul's Leprosy.
I still haven't watched it. Okay,
good.
Good. I didn't think it was that bad. I'm sorry.
You're wrong.
Damn it! Now I know why you're on the bottom with me over here, John.
You know what?
Absolutely incorrect. Please watch it.
I'm so sorry. I like the movie you did it.
I accept your apology.
It was fake.
We know. Right, just because of that, John, you were going last. So, Jay.
Well,
you do not always go last. Normally, I bring up the rear, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this movie. So I'm gonna do a video. It's coming soon. I'm gonna do the J-Man list of the tropes that absolutely are like dumb and piss me right off. This one has one. So, upon hearing that he is going to pass away in 3 months, 1 second later, he orders a hit on himself. Or why don't you hang on for a second, go back home, talk to the woman and say, hey, listen, I got a disease. It's not looking good. Okay. How should we handle this? Hey, Mr. Ben Kingsley, what do you think I should do? Well, you know, Dave, things happen. Let's figure it out. Let's talk. I've got some money. I really love this girl. Maybe we can figure something out. No, I'm going to on myself. And then 5 seconds after that happens, I'm not dying. Oh boy. Okay. That's awful. I hate this kind of like where the whole movie is now based on this one dumb thing. Mm-hmm. As much as I like the Spider-Man movie with the 3 Spider-Man, same thing. Doctor Strange doesn't know how to make a spell now. And Peter's like, change this. What? Like, I hate that kind of stuff. Okay. That out of the way. I thought this movie was okay. I actually gave it a 6 out of 10. So I gave it a higher score than Steve did. If I ignore that dumb part, I think the positives slightly outweigh the negatives. I like the fights. I like the violence. I like the characters, but the problem is it's like some of them are realistic and then some of them, no, that's not like.
They're all cartoon.
We're expecting Dave Bautista to be realistic because he's doing regular style assassin hits, like he's shooting guys. And then you've got Dancing Guy. And I'm like, okay, so Dancing Guy is a cartoon character fighting a real guy.
That's Marco Zaror, who's normally awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. Are you making a cartoon or are you making a real? Because it looked like it was The Professional in the beginning or something, and then now it's like, this is like a cartoon John Wick style thing with all these other guys in it. So I don't know what it's like. Steve saying, which movie are you making? Mm-hmm. This isn't this movie. I'm not beating this movie up because everyone's doing this. I'm kind of done with these like colorful, like assassin people now. I'm like, yeah, I'm good. Like, look, it's the Korean gang. Oh, look, they're cute little girls and stuff. Yeah, whatever. Like, I actually like that they all got killed fast because I'm like, I'm tired of these losers now. And then, look, it's the strippers who don't strip. It's like, okay, like, it's just nonsense. Like, why don't they make it where like they're actually scary? Like all these people are funny characters. Oh, look, the strippers, they're cute and fun.
I never feel like a threat. Yeah.
Nobody. Right. Dave Bautista is the only one that actually, because of what you're seeing in the beginning, I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. I do like some of the montages and like like somebody knocks over the wine bottle and then the wine bottle is like, yeah, like it's like it is. I was like,
those are pretty cool. I like those.
There's some neat stuff to it. It's for me, it's all ones on my space system. I gave the artistry a 2 because I actually thought it was well shot and it looks cool. And there's CGI blood, but I mean, that's just part of life now. So I get used to it. Like Owen said. Like, either you just say I'm not accepting it, put your foot down, and never watch any movie, or you just accept it as part of what it is now. Agreed. But yeah, oh god, it's like, oh, you're like, okay, let me order a hit on myself, or take 5 minutes and think about what's happening. Like if this really happened to someone in real life, and someone says, "Hey, dude, you got 3 months to live. Okay, that's it. I'm done. I'm going to commit suicide. Oh, doctor, here, give me a gun." Like, hold on.
And the worst part is they mention it. Fucking Ben Kingsley goes, "Let's go talk to the next guy," and then the next guy, and then a fucking shaman, and they just no. I'm just going to go kill myself. Fuck off.
And then the other thing too is like again, he goes to Mantis or whatever, Palm, whatever her name, Clemma something. He goes to her and what's his face is there, Mark Bernhardt or whatever, and it's like, and then they're funny and weird. I'm like, why is everybody funny and weird? I'm not beating this movie up. I'm just saying
caricatures rather than characters.
Yeah. Can we just get serious people? Like when they're going through the Assassins and then Terry Crews shows up, I was like, oh look, and he's got a comedic sidekick guy. I'm like, so there was 0 spoilers.
He was annoying as fuck as well. I forgot about that, so I just want to put that in the
that character. I mean, he's like, I want to be. It's like Ali G. It was literally Ali G as a sidekick. I'm like, why is Ali G in this movie? And then the girl just escapes or whatever. I don't know. She's okay. She's the mummy. Everyone picked a different movie when they said her name. Oh, the girl from the whatever movie. Nobody, because she has no movie. Everyone picks whatever movie they recently saw. Oh, the mummy girl. Oh, she's the Rebel Moon girl. Oh, she's the whoever. I don't know. Charlie said
Star Trek Beyond.
Star Trek Beyond.
She was in the Kingsman. She had
Kingsman.
She was also one of the aliens in the last Star Trek movie.
Yeah, Star Trek Beyond Garbage is what it's called. It's you're like, and she's just there. Oh, I love you. It's like, because of why do you love him? Like you just met him and you literally saw him murder people. Are you upset over that, or are you not upset over that? Well, I'm a dancer, so dancers don't get upset at murder. I don't.
They're okay with murderers. Okay,
they're okay. Like it's fine. It's like he's a murderer. He only kills
bad people though, so it's okay.
He only kills bad people because. Because of what? How does she know that? Like, I would think any person would say, well, the people I'm killing deserve it, or whatever. Like in his own mind, how do we know? No innocent person got, like, there's a lot of carnage. No innocent person got hit at all. Like if someone broke my car, I'd be pretty angry. Like it's like, well, I didn't kill an innocent person. Yeah, but the innocent person that you didn't kill fell on my car. So now my whole life is.
Did the security guard die in the first hit? While it wasn't Batista that killed him, it was one of the other guards.
Yeah.
So technically, there's collateral fucking damage for what you did.
Yeah. From what you're doing, exactly.
Yeah. So it's okay though. It's okay.
It's okay. Yeah.
You're right, John. My fault.
It's all for love, and
he was also a bad guy.
He's Dave Bautista. It's okay.
He can do anything except retain the title or whatever. No, but no, it's fine. Look, it's fine. I'm just being an ass. Just to
it's okay if you don't like it. You're like, I'm not bad.
We're allowed to not rave about something for once.
Yeah. I just look. I thought it was okay. I watched it like, that was fun. But then I'm like, let me nitpick the crap out of this just because I'm bored.
Which we can do.
I got nothing going on this week. We're doing Ewoks on Friday.
It's a light week on the stream.
It's a light week. It's a very light week. I played D&D yesterday, so I'm in a good mood. I'm like, let me nitpick the crap out of this. Just to be an ass. I'm done. Go ahead, John. Tell us about this this movie.
Tell us we're all wrong, John. Go.
No. I'm gonna again. We're gonna be boring again today because we're pretty much all in it.
We're so boring.
I told Owen before we went on the air and everybody else joined in. I just saw it today, and I hate I've only seen it once, and it was today, so it's like I'm trying to remember things from it, and all I know is when it first came out to movie theaters, I was gonna go see it, but then with moving and everything, I just didn't get a chance to see it. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna wait till the day of. I'm gonna watch it, so that way at least it's fresh in my mind. And all I remember is everybody on my site, people that read my stuff, coming at me this is the greatest movie. Oh my god, the action! Oh, awesome! It's Scott Adkins does this, Mark Ruzzolo does this. I'm like, yeah, okay. And then I watched it today. I'm like, yeah. Scott Adkins did his Guyver kick, and he did some flippy floppy kicks, and
Marco Zaror was disappointing.
Marco Zaror was disappointing. I mean, he had a good fight, like I said, it was boring at the beginning. JJ Perry did Day Shift with Jamie Foxx, which was way crazier than this.
1,000% better.
Exactly. That's why I was, and plus he's a stunt pro. He's done movies, he's done fighting, he's done stunt work, and he's one of those guys that comes from that field. So he did Day Shift. So I was like, yes, this guy knows what he's doing. I don't know if he was handcuffed with this movie, but it just definitely was. I didn't get the same feel with it.
No.
I mean, I never reviewed it because I hadn't seen it, so I'm like, I 2.5 out of 5 maybe, and that's just because some of the action is the castle stuff is entertaining, when all the it is action, and you got Marco Zaror and Scott Adkins fighting in that scene and everything, and but Daniel Bernhardt's completely wasted. I was talking to Owen again about this before he went on, and why you could have put anybody in that role to be just a guy that stands there and then shoots a gun every couple action sequences and stuff like that, and then it's and then you think here comes the standoff, and then she shoots him in the head, and I'm like, oh yeah, okay, now I really don't like this movie that much.
I have no desire to watch it again.
I don't. I was like, I'm glad I didn't buy it. I'm like, because normally I would just blind buy a movie like this.
Yeah, I probably won't.
Yeah. I'm not a fan. Like I said, I might watch it. But I want to watch it again, Owen, because I want to see if it's gonna grow on me, type of thing.
Oh, it really happens. Show you that hand grenades are the most ineffective weapon in a movie ever created. Everyone walks away from a fucking grenade in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
that is a thing, though.
Grenades movies. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of movies that are like that.
This one just kept. That's all they gave Batista. He threw his guns away like Deadpool, and he's like, well, here's bombs and explosives, and they're throwing fucking frag grenades. You just got to be within the vicinity to get fucked up. Nah, we just get blown backwards, and I'm totally fine.
Well,
fucking Looney Tunes rules.
The climax was a total letdown. I thought the castle should have been the climax in terms of the big action finale, because then they had the little shootout in the church, and it was underwhelming, and and Terry Crews he was underused. I mean, he was funny sometimes with his lines, but he just hung out with Ali G, J-Man, and it was
it was Ali G. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, and he's trying to be he's white, and we know he's white, but he's trying to be a rapper. It's like, okay, I get it, we've seen it before, it's not funny, and she's gonna escape from it.
Humor.
Yeah, because he's an idiot, so she's gonna escape. And if I was Terry Crews's character, I would have just shot him in the head, regardless of who he was, because he was related to what's her name, Pom.
I thought he was gonna. I thought that was the whole point.
I was waiting for. I was like, damn it, he didn't.
I knew because it's not nasty. The movie is not actually nasty enough.
You're right.
No,
they're cartoon characters like Looney Tunes.
Yes.
Right,
it's
John
violent,
said Looney Tunes, right?
Yeah, it's violent to the it's got some gore in it, but it is stylized gore, so it's not like where you're gonna be like, oh, this is disgusting.
There's a dude with a fucking blade in his head,
even when the yin yang thing is sticking his I did laugh though when he was like, I got you, because he got it with his little knife. That was funny. And I did laugh when he kicked the guy off the motorcycle. That was just funny because, he's Dave Bautista, and here comes a guy on a motorcycle. He puts his foot out, and the guy totally goes flying. And I thought that was kind of funny. But for what it was and what it was supposed to be, and with JJ Perry directing it and who was involved, everybody got their chance to shine a little bit. But then again, Scott Adkins got his 5 minutes, just like he does in every movie that comes to the theaters. And Marco
or doesn't come to theaters in our case.
Yeah. Or exactly. And then I wasn't entertained as much as I thought I was going to be. So I was like, I just wasted an hour and 45 minutes today. So.
Well, Scott Adkins also plays a brother in Day Shift, but that whole thing was so much better.
Yeah, they were better.
That was better than it was
so
the same thing. It was
Yeah.
the same thing, but that was done better than this one. Like, and he shit his pants. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, what's that?
Yeah,
smell?
what the heck was
that?
That was
Yeah.
just dumb.
Because we're
man.
from Scotland, that's what we do. We
Okay,
all
now
shit
we're
our
doing
pants.
potty humor. I'm like,
Yeah, but then I'm thinking, so he's got a log in his pants while this fight is happening, and that's all I could
Right.
think about. I'm like, is there a log in there, or did he really shit his pants? I don't understand.
he
and
must
then-
have
and
because he
then-
was laughing. So
And then, the Korean team, they fought as a team when you first saw them, and then they go one by one. I'm like, this is the old Shaw Brothers tricks here. It's like,
Yeah.
what's
Yep.
going on? Like,
I will say this: I did love him with Ben Kingsley. Ben Kingsley can act the shit out of anything.
Yeah, he
It
was
doesn't
good.
matter
Yeah,
like Alex said,
he
he's
could be
very
in
good.
Gandhi or he could be in the Killer's Game, and he was just. I loved his character, and I loved how at the end he's the one that killed her. You know, he walks up
Yeah.
to her at the end. I was like, that was cool. You know, and I did enjoy. There's like he's stirring his coffee. He's like, are
Yeah.
you gonna keep stirring it? You know, they just had good repertoire between each other, so that was a bright spot of it. And there was some decent action, but nothing to write home.
That's how a good actor can elevate everyone else in the
Yes,
scene with him.
Exactly.
British
that's
We were
actors
talking
make
about
everything better.
last week. We were talking about James Earl Jones and Lance Henriksen in Excessive Force. They weren't into that much, but
Right.
they made that movie better just by the limited screen time that they had on it. I watched Excessive Force after I watched it. I'm like, let me put this one in again. And I'm
nice.
like,
But
here
that
we
was
go.
serious, even though that was the 90s, all the 90s tropes in one movie. Yeah, but it's still a serious movie. Like Lance Henriksen's a dick, and
Yeah.
Tony Todd pissed me off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at the-
Charlie, right? We're like,
Bro.
screw this guy. I was not pissed off. I had no emotion at all through this movie. I just watched it as though I'm watching a
It
TV
was funny,
episode of
Tom.
something. It's like, okay, that was okay. And then it didn't piss me off. I wasn't
Yeah.
excited.
Yeah,
Like,
I
I wasn't
wasn't
even-
watching it. Yeah.
Yeah, like
This
shouldn't
is
the villain?
like your standard going straight to streaming type movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
big
Yeah,
time.
I understand
know
why
why
I
they
didn't get a
make that much-
theatrical release here now after
Yeah,
seeing it. I'm
it-
like, oh, right,
Oh
that's
yeah,
why.
I totally get. What, John? This might have been in theaters 2 weeks for us. It
I
was a
gonna
flash
go
in
see
the
it, and
pan.
then I was like, oh, I could, I had a weekend where I was like, oh, and I was like, oh, it's not playing anymore. I'm like, okay,
I think it probably only did like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So
it
They-
made
you
like
guys,
10 million, maybe.
yeah,
I don't know.
if you're lucky,
Yeah.
you guys all hit on something that was really bugging me throughout this, and Steven, you said it perfectly. It felt like it was directed by two different directors because it's so disjointed. You have a
Mhm.
serious aspect, you have a comedic access. So the thing I was talking about earlier was I had read just the blurb about this, and it said an assassin with an incurable or inoperable condition sets out a hit for himself, but the people he set the hit with kidnap his ex-girlfriend, and now he has to save her. So I had that in my brain going in here. And J-Man, you're 100% right. This movie starts out like The Professional. It's a very darker tone. Find the romances in there. So originally I had envisioned he has this disease. It's not something that's going to get cured in this movie. And as I watched this movie, I went, there's a better movie here if they'd have got rid of the silliness.
And he dies at the end, right? And like,
Yes.
yeah.
Let him keep that. He still falls in love with the girl. He still sets out this hit for, say, whatever reason, or let the hit come from Queen Bitch. That's what they called her in the movie. So that's what I'm going to call her, Mantis, where she's so pissed off about, him killing her father and dishonoring her family. She's now like, okay, we're going to take this hit that you want to do. And she does the whole same thing. Okay, we're not going to give him the easy out he's looking for. We're not going to make this easy. Kidnap his girlfriend. So you have Daniel Bernhardt scoping out, find out who she is, kidnap her. Now you set up, you're going to have to save her life while you are dying, and you have to get to the end of this before you get the clean death you want. And set up all these assassins, less cartoony, but make it the killer's game, which is what this movie's called.
Yep.
And you now he has to work his way through to save her. Then you can still have a bounty on his head, which works that's why everyone's involved. Terry Crews gets involved. They fuck him over still at the end, and they start trying to kill him, where he's like, okay, fuck this. I'm going to help Batista. He helps take everyone out, gets to the end, saves the girl. Batista still has to die, but doesn't want to just die the way it says. So as a mercy killing, Terry Crews kills him, but the way Batista wanted to go. And then Terry Crews is now the hero and takes out Queen Bitch, makes sure the girlfriend is took care of. Ben Kingsley can look over him for the rest of their time with baby Batista coming. But
and saving grace, his saving grace was saving her. So
He
now he
still-
did all this bad things. So now it's like I
Right.
saved
She's
my girlfriend.
pregnant, so
She's
therefore
pregnant.
she can.
I
I
saved
have-
my child. Yeah, now
I
can
have a
die.
family at the end of this. I have achieved everything I wanted in life. She loves me, but she now knows what I am. And I still die at the end, but I win in the end. And Terry Crews can still redeem himself at the end. And everyone gets their comeuppance, but you can keep this kind of a dark theme all the way through and still have him die and still have a fucking great movie than what we got stuck here. I was watching this movie just having going, yeah, I wouldn't have gone this route. I would not have tried to be silly.
Then you'd have to have Palm Clement, whatever, be very evil and sinister and not in a cute, funny way. Like, oh, I'm so cute and funny. That would have to be completely like
you got
dead,
to write
dead
that
inside.
shit out. You got to write that shit out.
She's
gotta-
dead inside and doesn't care about life or anything. It's like, I just want this guy gone.
That's
and
what I mean,
don't
like
care.
the tone of Smoking Aces, where it had this kind of crazy tone, but the bad guys were like psychotic and like they were fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And it's dark.
And there was a sense of threat, and it was dark humor, and that would have worked better because if you're wanting to, like, he's supposed to be dying. Like, there should be, a sense of, threat or at least sadness to it, and there isn't. You don't care. You're like, oh, what? I give a fuck if this guy's going to die or not.
I was with
and they got
J-Man.
married at the end. Yay.
I was so upset with the phone call. Oops, we made a mistake. And I went,
Have you checked your? Have you got your eyes checked?
You should sue the lab. I'm like, lab.
The way they set this up was like, I've been going to the doctor for a while. He's like, oh, you're still having the headaches. Oh, you're still having this.
Right.
Why are you taking the blood now? Well, we're just going to run every fucking test. And then to have that asshole on the phone going, yeah, let's check your eyes. It's like, motherfucker, what?
Yeah, that's
Why
the
is that
first
not
thing you
check
do.
one?
That is check one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that. My wife had the same thing. I get headaches, eye doctor, first thing. She just got glasses last year. It's like, exactly. That's the first damn thing everyone does.
It literally just kind of treated the audience as stupid and it made the whole movie tropey more than it did anything else. And I was like, this movie deserves better because it's decent. Like, none of us are like saying this is a shit movie. You don't want to ever watch it. But it's just it missed the bullseye. It's still on the board, but it missed the bullseye. And when you watch it, you're like, yeah, you could have. This could have been a great movie that probably would have went to theaters and stayed in theaters and made a shit ton of money, and gone the way of like The Beekeeper. And The Beekeeper follows that line a little. Like they went a little nuts with the other beekeeper chick. Okay, fine, that works. But you still kept the same tone throughout the movie as you went. This one is just up, down, flat, up, down, flat. Oh, the priest is hilarious. I agree. I loved everything about that guy. And John, you're right. Those two scenes should have been flip-flopped. The priest in the church scene should have been about midway through the movie, culminating at the castle. Final battle all happens.
It was
there.
it was okay.
It was anticlimactic. Okay. Terry Crews should have been the one to shoot him in the head. Been like where he was close enough to his weapon and he just like got an arm free and shot him.
Yeah, like
and went, you owe me one or something.
Or they could have had Terry Crews fight Daniel Bernhardt to give him a little.
Well, the thing was, like, they didn't even give Terry Crews, like, he should have helped Terry Crews at the end or whatever. He's like, help me up or whatever. And I was like, no, fucking help the guy up. And then he helps him or whatever. And then, they go their separate ways and then they're fine. But he just sort of abandons them there. And then it was like, oh, but now I want revenge. And I'm like, fuck off. And
well, they show him sitting on the bed, listening to that song. And you're supposed to be like, oh, okay. All right. He got me. Okay. The one thing this movie did right is there's actually boobs in this movie. I about fell the fuck over when I saw that chick roll over. And I was like,
I remember that.
When did this movie come out? Holy shit.
I'm surprised Sophia didn't show her boobs. She showed them in Rebel Moon, the director's cut, like 18 times.
Really?
Well, maybe I should watch. Maybe I should watch it.
That's the only reason why you should watch it. Yes,
no, but they didn't follow their own thing because again, it's like, oh, there's this code, but there's not a code because the code is that the guy called the hit on himself. Then the client himself is saying, call it off. No, I'm not calling it off. Okay, so there's no code. So if there's no code and he killed your father, why didn't you send everyone against him when he killed your father, whenever that happened. Well, there's a code, but you're not following it anyways. Yeah. And it's like, well, I'm not following it today because I don't feel like it for this movie. You know what? In the movie that we just watched, when Terry Crews was lying down, Batista should have shot him in the face and been like, sorry, buddy, you went against me. I don't care that you helped me. That would have been hardcore, but they're not doing any hardcore decisions, right? Hardcore. Like, or as Owen is saying, then if you want to make it a fun movie, pick him up. Be like, all right, buddy, we had our differences. Let's go, you and me, and then have it that. But no, they don't want to pick anything. They don't want to pick a side.
You bring this up, J-Man, and I think about it anytime I watch a movie, and you're like, there are far too many movies these days which are fine. Yes, yeah. Yeah, and you just say, yeah, it's okay. And like, they're too fucking scared to do anything with balls, and you're just like, make me feel something, anything at all while watching a film. Like, I'm so fed up of feeling indifference watching movies. Like, you just like, yeah, it's fine. I was okay. Yeah. What did I watch again? And like, let's have to watch the trailer earlier to remind me what happened in this movie. I just watched it the weekend.
Yeah. Oh,
it was a parody.
Started. I knew better.
I didn't want it to be a parody. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I wasn't expecting it to be a parody of other like assassin movies either, John. Yeah. I was like, so I'm disappointed as I'm watching it, and then I'm like, well, I don't even think you guys knew what you were making as I finished watching it, and it's just
disappointed is the word.
I want to mention the Beekeeper just only because the Beekeeper came up. Let me. This is why I really like the Beekeeper. Because Jason Statham is still the same thing. It's like, okay, poor guy. But here's the thing. They gave you real life situations in which people are assholes.
Yeah, scammers.
And look, everyone knows the internet scams are bullshit. The cold calls are bullshit. Not only that, they scam an innocent woman who's a good person.
Yes.
So immediately you think, oh, they could have scammed my mom. Like you might, okay, so Charlie, you're sitting there, they're not going to scam me. Yeah, but they might scam your mom or your dad who doesn't know or whatever, or maybe your uncle or something. It's like, and that pisses you off.
My dad's fallen for stuff like that.
Yeah,
sure. Yeah. Number two, they're happy. They're showing the bad guys be happy. Yeah, they're happy about scamming these people. So I'm sitting there, Theo's like, okay, first of all, many things happen. I'm angry and I want to beat them up. Now, I can't go in the movie and beat them up. So the anticipation of knowing that Jason Statham is going to go and beat them up
and do it well
starts getting you amped up, right? And you're like, oh, fuck yeah. Wait till Jason Statham comes in, buddy. You're going to go down, you piece of garbage. And then he comes in and you're like, yeah. And they're like, oh, there's more guys. And then he goes and you're like, and he gets the fire like, this is awesome. And it keeps building up to where you're also angry and you're automatically, you're never thinking, oh yeah, I'm with the scammers. Because they're presented as pieces of garbage that scam innocent people and you hate them. These people in this movie, they're assassins and they look kind of fun. That's different. That is not the same feeling because you're like, are you angry at the Scottish brothers? You're like, no, you're like, these guys are kind of cool. They're funny, right? They're funny. They're all kooky and funny. Yeah, but then are they bad guys? Like, I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't hate them.
I don't hate them.
No, I kind of want to watch them all separately now. You know? Like, I want to see their antics. Yeah.
I was thinking the two of them together would have made a funnier movie with the two guys and with the subtitles, like not actually subtitling them, but saying what they mean.
I'd watch that movie in a whole. That would have been an amazing movie.
What are you doing? Do you want me to care? And then Steve's point is that, okay, so you want me to care about these guys because they're kind of fun and kooky. Yeah, but then now they're all dead in 5 seconds. So, okay, so I shouldn't have been excited for them. Like, I don't get.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Why do they just name cool ass names and these screen splashes with their names popping up?
Yeah,
you're saying all this, and it's just making me sit here and think. Go, man, there's a lot of shit I didn't like. I fucking hated the goddamn Uber app for assassins they were using.
Right? See, it's just
and shit. You could see where the fuck they were. Like, it takes all the anticipation out of what, like, oh, I'm over here. Like the John Wick shit, they had covert phone numbers. This is a hit out.
They used cheap ass phones too. They didn't have any of that.
On Commodore 64s.
Yes.
Yeah. And then
they're untraceable.
This one is swipe right if you want to take it. Swipe left if you don't want to take it. Like, what the fuck is
like
this?
Tinder.
I don't like this movie anymore, guys. I'm just gonna say this.
I knew if you talk to me long enough, I can convince you.
I mean, I was not highly rated. I was like in the 6s. But I mean,
trying not to bash on it that much, but Charlie's like, yeah, you know
I said, fuck it now. You just did Uber fucking Assassins. It's
Let's watch Commando.
I'm the cinema assassin. It's like, what movie do you want me in? If it's, hey, listen, look, Beekeeper's bulletproof. Yeah. Because there's too many awesome things in it, and you can say what you want. There's could be negatives, but I'm going by feeling.
You like have at to the end of that, I was like, the negatives. Yeah. This one, the negatives are like we're trying to overlook the negatives because we're just like we just want new good action movies.
That is true.
Please just give me something good. So we're like, okay, I can ignore that. Okay, ignore that. Then we come here and we talk, and we're like, God damn it, I fucking forgot about that. You pieces of shit.
No, you're right, Charlie. I wanted to like the thing is. There's a lot of fun characters, and I actually like Dave Bautista, and I saw Alex Kingston, and I was like, oh, she's from Doctor Who, and you want to like it, right? So you start to make a little bit of a, even I'm not immune to it. I'd be like, this is kind of fun, and Steve was like, I don't like this. And I was like, damn, I thought it was okay. I thought this movie was okay.
You know what's funny though? Like we're sitting here, right? I have all these movies on my floor because I'm unpacking, and I'm sitting there thinking, "Yep, this movie's better. Yep, this movie's better. Yep, this movie's better."
I got a whole robe. That's better up there.
I got shit hanging on my wall. Yep, that's better.
If we're using Beekeeper because it came out came out this year, is immediately, and I've used this point time and again. If you have a World War II movie, as soon as those Germans put on that uniform, you know who the bad guys are. You don't need them to actually say anything.
Nope.
And it's the same with these scammers. As soon as you see them, and the thing is that the good guy in this movie is an assassin, and the bad guys are assassins.
Everybody's
so
bad.
What's the difference?
Yeah, why should we hate him more or like him more than the other guys?
Yeah,
I don't kill
because he fell in love
or children.
He got a girlfriend.
Sure.
They force it on us by saying he doesn't kill innocent people or children.
Yes.
Yeah.
They literally say it like 3 times. So he's like, I'm not as bad.
Yeah.
Or Ben Kingsley even says it. He's like, you never broke the rules. You never broke the code. You did everything right. So you can walk away. Oh, good. He's a good guy. Okay.
And it's also the whole premise of this is bullshit. If you went to someone that fucking hated your guts and you go, hey, I want you to put a hit out on me for $2 million and I'll wire it to your account. Why the fuck do you call anyone else other than look at Daniel Bernhardt and go, hey, as that money hit the account, he thinks he's got 24 hours. Fucking shoot him, and I'll split it with you. We're good. I mean, there's too many improbable things that have to happen for me to believe to get lost in the movie that I have to be like, oh shit, yeah. Well,
Charlie, we talked about this last week. Like $2 million is a lot of money these days. It's like $3
right. Where is all this at all of a sudden now? Now we're talking
I
like
would still
a lot
take
of
$2
money.
million if anyone wants to send it my way.
I'll take it. Don't get me wrong, but for them, it's like,
Yeah, but how does
even goes at first? Terry Crews is even like after expenses, and he's like, not worth it, And then he even denies it at first.
And it's $4 million, then it's $100 million, then it's a whatever. She could have shot him in the office the second he came in to put a hit on him. She should have said, "I accept," and he should have shot him right there. She doesn't need $2 million. What does she need that for? She doesn't need that. Just kill him and say he put a hit out.
Pointed his gun at him. Daniel Bernhardt she's like, Max can shoot you right now. I'm like, yeah. Why don't you shoot him?
Shoot him right now.
Yeah.
I think you said this about Kickboxer, and you're like, that's because, and then it just felt like a movie, and it became like a movie thing, and you're like, no, in real life, you just fucking shoot him in it.
Things have to happen to progress. It's that whole thing, the movie would be done in 5 minutes if we put real logic to this.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
Charlie's pissed off.
No, but it wasn't
okay that I watched it, but I was all I think I'm more mad now that I think I liked it more than I did now.
But the reason
only an hour ago.
Yeah, the reason we're applying this logic is because the movie didn't start out weird. Like John Wick, because of the nature of that movie, you don't start to apply logical thinking to it because it's presenting you with something different. It's like, look, we're taking this, we're going to take all these concepts and really crank the shit.
And they did it seriously. It was serious shit. Like
it's heightened. It's heightened reality.
And they killed the dog, motherfucker.
So there you go. So I'll say that. Yo, you hated those guys because they came in there, beat the crap out of, and you're like, F these guys.
They didn't have to kill the fucking dog. I mean, that was just
I was pissed off anyways. Listen, you're taking the guy's car, you're beating him up, and you know what? Screw this. Like, this whole situation is bullshit.
Yeah.
And I don't like random attacks because those guys didn't know that John Wick wasn't just a normal guy, which means if they will do it to a normal person. I'm pumping gas and they beat me up. It's like, what the shit?
It tells you they've done it before.
And they've done it, right.
They've already done that.
So John Wick, immediately you're on his team because you're like, F these guys. And then the anticipation is, I can't wait till he gets to them and kicks the crap out of them. And this movie didn't have that because Owen said too, it's like, they're all assassins. Why would we kill bad people? What are you talking about? How do you know? Okay, so you killed this guy. Yeah, well, he had a daughter or something or whatever, right? Or someone that loved him, or so they're going to be upset. Like, what are you talking? It's like, just be hardcore assassin, and that's it. Look, I'm an assassin. That's what I do. And then bang. Like, how did they know? So they get a text. I guess there's like a blue. What is it? Color blue means the person's a good person. Do you want to assassinate this good person? No, pass. If it's a red one, that means that this guy's a bad guy. Determined by who?
Right, determined by who?
Determined by who is this a bad guy? It's like, I would kill bad people, and who determines what is bad? Is it a jaywalker? Like, or is he's a bad guy? He broke the law. Like, yeah.
That story was told better in a movie called Wanted. That's better way where that movie that whole premise was. I don't know. We can say, I mean, honestly, we can sit here and poke holes into it, and we can all be like, "Fuck this movie, it's a 1." But I did at the end of it, I did appreciate the action sequences. They were enjoyable to watch.
They checked the box.
They checked the boxes. There were some, decent actual kills. I was like, okay, cool. That dude's head, even though I don't like it, she shot him. His fucking head. The Batros, when he fucking blows him up with that, there's a fucking intestine flying through the air.
Yeah.
And then his foot's laying there. I was like, okay, that was really cool. And I did laugh when Batista gets knocked backwards through that room and he's sliding backwards. And he looks up and he goes, "Oh, hi, Batros." And then they start into the fight. I was like, that was actually kind of
well. And then I like when Drew McIntyre gets impaled and Scott Adkins is like, "It's just a scratch." And he's like, problem.
Oh, you think I'll be
that
okay?
was funny. That was funny. Yeah, that was funny.
You get the horns.
I mean, if I were to review it, I probably would give it maybe 3 stars on a good day. I mean, it was like I watched Liam Neeson's new film last night, Absolution, and I watched that, and what a miserable slog that was.
Really,
it's like it just leaves you with nothing at the end.
So Killer's Game is better than.
And there's it is. Yeah. And there's 5 minutes of action, and I hate whenever they keep doing it because Liam Neeson's in it, so this must be an action movie. It's not an action movie. Literally 5, maybe 10 minutes of action in the entire movie, and that's towards the end. It's more of a character's drama and him trying to reconcile with his family, and it's old guy with a past trying to reconcile with his family. Oh, it's one of those.
So
movies.
Every Liam Neeson movie except 18, basically.
Pretty much, yeah, exactly. So it's just except more boring.
Right.
That's because he's older. He can't do as much action when he did take it.
The only thing I care about he's doing right now is that he's supposed to be doing that remake of The Naked Gun, and I want to see that. That's all.
That might be fun.
That's like there's no in between.
I think he's gonna play Drevin totally dry, but that dry comedy is gonna come across. That one scene in Ted where he buys the fucking Lucky Charms.
Yes.
If it's that whole fucking movie, I am in for it 1,000%. I'm just there. It says this is for kids. Is it really for kids? I don't think so. I think you.
I don't know.
I appreciate what you did for me here today.
I love Lucky Charms. So yeah, I mean it's candy. I don't know what to tell you. I eat candy for dinner and breakfast and lunch. Nice.
But yeah, I mean, I've seen worse films than this. If it's on streaming, I say I wouldn't watch again.
Actually, I'm kind of mad that we spent an episode on the Killer's Game. I'm like, no offense, but I was like, we could have I'm thinking about all the other cool shit.
But I always like to talk about anything that has Scott Adkins in it because he's one of the last few action stars, and then Daniel Bernhardt, even though he doesn't reply to emails, but that's fine. And it was a new movie, and I wanted that because next week we're doing Tango and Cash. which is
Well, that's just going to be a love fest. I can. It's like,
I know. Unless we just pick a movie that I still want to talk about Derailed, the Van Damme movie. We'll do that at some point, right?
Yeah.
Well,
like, I can say this. I never would have watched this movie unless we had covered it. I don't even remember it hitting the theaters briefly. And unless it was, and I would have thought straight up if this hit Netflix, it was a Netflix original movie. That's exactly how it would have felt to me.
It has that straight to Netflix, straight to video kind of feel to it.
It does. Even big names like Ben Kingsley and shit like that don't matter now when it comes to streaming. Like all the big names are doing streaming movies because it's a fucking paycheck. It's like, fuck it, I can do it. I don't have to worry about, is it dog shit? The box office doesn't matter anymore. So I get a check and it's gone. And I don't have to worry about it. So anyone can be doing them now. It's like, do I want to watch this new fucking Santa Claus Red 1 movie?
No,
not really. There's nothing really about it that it's like, oh, I can't wait to watch it. I'm just kind of like, I might.
It's Dwayne Johnson being Dwayne Johnson in every other movie.
I've never even heard of this movie.
But my daughter wants to see it. So
I watched half of the trailer and turned it off, and I was like, I've seen better films.
Turned off the trailer? Oh dear,
that's pretty bad.
Oh dear, that is not a good.
I find that though. It's just like whenever there's like talking snowmen or something, I was like, oh, fuck off.
Unless it's Jack Frost, of course.
Unless it's Jack Frost, that's fine. I only asked you for a smoke. Yeah.
Oh, I thought we were doing the Michael Keaton one.
No.
That is a weird.
Oh, that's a family favorite.
I turned off the poster for Wicked. So as soon as I saw the Wicked poster, I just turned off the poster. I didn't even
turned it off.
I just turned the poster off. Never mind, turn off the trailer. I turned off.
I didn't even know it was a movie until all the shit come out about that, and I was like, I really could care less now. I don't give a shit.
There's very few movies that I give a shit about seeing in the cinema anymore. Like Venom. Have any of us gone to see Venom?
Nope.
Nah.
No.
Oh, have you? Charlie, you went to see it? Is any good?
I took Liam got A's and B's on his report card, and he loves Venom, so we took him, me and Anthony. So it was a boys'
You have
night.
the calm. What do you think?
I enjoyed the hell out of it. It was fun.
Right.
Is it a great movie? Fuck no.
Well,
it's
you
fine.
can already tell
fine.
that.
It's a fine movie.
It's okay. It's okay.
It was better than the Killer's Game.
There you go.
Really?
Hey, you spent more money on that one than you did on the Killer's Game, so it's like at least it was better.
Because it was his like reward thing. So we went to the good theater with the recliners, and then he wanted we got the Venom bucket and the cup that looks like a symbiote.
Oh, you spent some bucks on that one.
Wow, that's like isn't that like $75 or something?
I got popcorn and I have to wait till next paycheck to pay my bill.
So he's not doing good in math, right? It's like, okay, because here's how much this costs.
It was almost exactly $75, Jay, man.
Wow.
No, I've seen it. It looked okay. Okay, I'll say this. It's pretty epic, but like,
dude, the whole cup was like a black symbiote and his head comes out the top. I was like, that's badass.
It's wicked. I'll give it.
And then he got a metal popcorn tin with red on the inside. I was like, that's cool. And I got that fucking, she's like, it's like 74 or something. I'm like, looked at him, just.
We have a great British expression where you say, "Are you taking the piss?"
Yeah,
I should have said it, but I watch it for Tom Hardy and the Venom interaction, which I think was one of the best ones in this movie. The ending gave me everything I wanted, but I will say I have no fucking clue why they decided to go with Null as the Venom, because unless you read the comics religiously, you'd be like my 18-year-old who was like, I had no fucking idea what was going on, Dad. I was like, because you don't know that lore yet. That lore is only like 8 years old. And it's not mainstream, and you're like, why are we doing this? Fucking do the government taking symbiotes and turning them into soldiers. That would have made more sense than Null. But it was
like that's really an epic thing, and I didn't collect that whole thing, but I read the main line.
It crossed Guardians of the Galaxy. It had its own run of Planet of the Symbiote. They skipped Planet of the Symbiotes in the movies. They literally say that, like, is there a whole planet of you guys? Not this one. And that's all you get. I'm like, so that's all I'm getting mentioned by this one.
So is Null in the movie fighting or no?
Null's captured. He's imprisoned, and he sends the xenophages, which are fucking giant monsters that are damn near unkillable. They feed one through a jet engine into 1 billion like gooey pieces, and it T-1000s itself back together.
Oh.
Yeah.
So they're unstoppable. There's no
With
reason
Sonic
they should have
Blast,
won.
Can't they use
No,
Sonic Blast?
nothing worked on the xenophages. I don't want to tell you how they ended them.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah,
buy it.
Yeah, I'm going to watch it when it's on digital.
And they fuck up Toxin. We don't get Toxin. So
Really?
and even my kid was my son knows all the symbiotes, and he's
Right.
like, they didn't do Toxin, Dad. They had the guy, and they didn't do Toxin. I'm like, I know, bub. It's okay. He's like, but in the comics, I said, son, I have every comic. For some reason, my youngest didn't know that, and I was like, I have them all in boxes. A little bit older, you can have them all. But it was fine. $75. No, should have went for a matinee pricing on that.
Just going back to Wolverine's comment, which he said earlier, where Jason Statham was initially cast in the Killer's Game. I think that probably would have been more interesting, just because you would have better fight scenes. He always looks great on screen when he's fighting, like when he's punching and kicking, whatever. Like Dave Bautista's kind of boring on screen in terms of fighting. Like I think it's good to show that the vulnerability, but in terms of fight moves, whatever, there's nothing that particularly stands out.
He lost weight now because he wants to play different roles. So he lost what he had in the Killer's Game.
I'm gonna say, like, I told J-Man this, like, the beauty of John Wick, and no, I don't know if anyone gives credit where credit is due, but part of the beauty of John Wick is Keanu Reeves. He's a guy.
Yep.
He's a guy. He's not particularly built. He's not particularly, and that's the beauty of John Wick, is that he's this, he's the guy who they get to kill the boogeyman.
He's trained.
The particular set of skills.
Yeah, he's got skills, but you can't walk up to him and think that he's that guy. There's no way I'm approaching Dave Bautista to fight him. Listen, I love Reacher, but that guy is borderline that too. Like, if anyone steps to that guy, I'm like, you're going to get your ass kicked. Like, it's not even, it's not even close.
100%.
But like with something like this, where you have all these cool characters you're creating, I'm like, yeah, but this guy's a brick wall. Like, I think he's literally a living, breathing brick wall. He's 6'5" and like 240. Mm-hmm. You're unless you get someone as big as him, it's done. And that's why I wasn't actually surprised that the fights didn't last that long. But I was like, this isn't as fun. Like, I love Keanu Reeves, throwing the knives on the guy's head and all that. It's cool. He's more flexible. He can do more. Dave Bautista's a brick wall. The man can barely move.
The best use of Bautista when in this size, not new Bautista that we got, was, and I know you guys will shit on this movie and it's fine, but I still love him in Spectre. That no talking. He was okay in that.
Yeah, he was cool. Yeah.
I am going, like, he grabs that one dude and pushes his thumbnails into the guy's eye socket. It just. Yeah. And he's
great as Drax as well. I mean, he's
I think honestly it was fine. Yeah, he's not the Drax from comics. Right? No, that's where J-Man's going to go at with that.
Yep, that is correct.
Oh, I knew that tone.
That is correct.
But play to your strengths. If you're a giant fucking mountain of a man, then just be a goddamn giant fucking mountain of a man. He can act, and I will give him that. He's way better than most wrestlers turn actors.
Oh, hell yeah.
He deserves all the props for that. But work within your confines. And I'm not going to blame him for Killer's Game. I think he's playing what he knew, and then the directors were just like, well, these guys can be really fucking goofy and shit. Bautista, you just keep doing what you're doing, and it'll work out fine. And I think that's where it got disjointed. Just like J-Man said, they had what's her name thinking she was in one movie. Bautista's just doing his thing, reading a script, and it's all this other, or Steve, all this other shit just happening around what they're doing in this movie. Yeah. And us as viewers are like, the fuck is going on?
We could have fixed. Okay, so look, Bautista's a big, huge brick wall. He's undefeatable. People are scared to go up to him. So you have a scene where they're introducing these assassins. The first scene, they show a guy who's just as big as Bautista or bigger. This big, huge guy walking around, and you're thinking, oh, this is one of the assassins they called. Then the strippers come and kill him, like destroy the crap out of him. You're like, oh shit, they just killed. I thought that guy was going to be assassin, but it's these chicks. Oh, they're pretty badass. Then in your mind, you're thinking, oh, wait till they fight Bautista. How will that go? Because this guy was even bigger and they took him down. See, this is how you build up to tension and characters and anticipation of scenes, not there's a bunch of guys sitting there at a strip club watching them, and then they killed them all. Wasn't that cool? Not really. I could have killed them all too.
No one even attacked them at all. Same as in the Korean bar.
Yeah.
No one was being attacked. They just killed them.
So it's not the whole point of these versus movies is to build up 2 guys or 3 guys or 4, and then you're like, oh man, wait till they pick. If you're watching Bloodsport, we did Bloodsport not too long ago. You got Van Damme, you got Bolo, and you're like, well, Bolo's now, and I know we know Van Damme's going to win, but you're like, how is he going to defeat Bolo? Because this guy's like just plowing the crap through people, right? Even when he was fighting the big sumo-ish kind of guy, Van Damme's doing all the moves. You're like, wait a minute, this guy's like not going down. Like Van Damme's, he did all the moves to him. It's what the shit's going on. This guy's still standing.
I hit every combo on the controller.
I've done every damn thing. I don't understand. Then he does the right, and then he does the dim mock, which was he does the dim mock. You're like, oh my god, the dim mock. But that's how you build it up, because we saw the dim mock hadn't been used yet. I don't understand what's going on in these action movies. They're not thinking. You know what? They're not thinking. They're like, oh, there's going to be a cool fight scene, and then all 5 of us are going to be like, that was a pretty good, cool fight scene, right? Yeah, but who cares? It's like there's no build up to anything. The only build up was the 2 brothers, and then they built them up to be like, okay, these guys look pretty badass. It's like Scott Adkins, and we know Drew McIntyre is like a big, huge guy. You finally have a guy who's another wrestler, so you're like, oh, this will be a good match because they're both guys. And then Scott Adkins is like super agile, so you're like, oh, this is going to be really good. And then, oh, I shit my pants. Oh, that took the steam out of that. Like, I'm like, okay, so this is not exciting now. And then also, he had bombs, which I'm pretty sure nobody's going to survive a bomb. I know.
I hate when they blow everybody up, because then it's like, oh, that's less people.
Yeah, such a cop out. Yeah,
it is, and that's what it felt like. And the entire movie was a cop out. But it's also like J-Man's saying, we're built up somewhat for these 2 guys because we have history with them. Mm-hmm. They're one of the shorter fights.
Right.
It is. You're like, wait, that was fucking Scott Adkins.
Yeah.
Why am I like? I honestly thought he was going to die without throwing a fucking kick at first. Mm-hmm. Like I literally thought that, and then I was like, oh, finally I get. And he does, like you said, the Guyver kick and all this stuff, and I finally get it. But then he blows up, and then he's like, the fuck.
Yeah.
And then Boita shows up, and I love that dude in Machete and all the other movies that he's popped up in, because he's a hell of a kickbox fighter. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, this is going to be a good one. They fucking make him sword fight. Yeah. And I was like, that's not as cool, but I was like, that's not what I'm expecting from this guy in this fight.
Why is
Daniel Bernhardt is the size of Dave Bautista. I mean, he might not be as thick as Dave Bautista, but that would have been a good fight.
But they give him a gun, so he ends up with a crutch. I'm a mercenary. Yeah. I get paid. I've already been paid. Like, fuck off. What the fuck is this shit about? This movie just dropped another point in my book. It's just...
I don't think it's good anymore.
He's way down there now. He's way down there.
I'm going to get you down to a 0.
So, Charlie, for Spectre, I just wanted to say for the record, I thought Batista was great in Spectre, and the movie went down the minute Batista got killed. He got killed way too fast in the movie.
I agree
with that.
And then all of a sudden we were out in the desert for no reason, and then it just kept going. And then like Blofeld was his brother, and I'm like,
Austin Powers.
And then Nowhere to Die, No Time to Die happened, and completely the franchise forever.
Still haven't watched it, thanks to you guys. I just
never waste your time.
Yeah. I don't want to spend that amount of time, but yeah, it's. And that's a problem. A good character doesn't make a good movie. A good kill doesn't make a good movie. You got to have a fucking movie. There's got to be a good story with elements that tie it all together. And this one just missed the mark. I think the biggest FU is what J-Man said. We made a mistake and you're not actually dying.
Right.
They tried to blend too many things into this one movie.
They did. Yeah, it's 100%.
Yeah, and it went this way, that way, this way, this way, that way, and it's just like I just want to see a violent action movie with good fighting and shit.
At the point of him doing all this shit, I have already come to terms with him dying at the end, and now I'm like, okay, now what's gonna happen? Like now he's gonna just be fucking unstoppable. He is gonna be a ball of fucking fury. and he's gonna have, I was thinking like Owen, I was wondering if you picked this movie because of watching Excessive Force 2, Force on Force, where she kept having the headaches in the middle of a fight, and then Batista had headaches in the middle of a fight. Yeah. I was like, is this why we're doing this?
And actually, no, I just hadn't watched
that was a
movie,
happy
so
coincidence.
I just wanted to talk about something new, and I thought, well,
that was fine, but I was literally just
happened.
thinking that. I was like, wow, where have I seen this before?
Okay, so wait, I just thought of this. You could actually keep the same movie. He goes and they have the disease. Then he orders the hit on himself, and then he finds, so, but instead of 3 months, just say you've got 1 year. You've got 1 year. And then he's like, okay, you know what? I don't want to go through the pain and all this stuff. Just end it now. Then he finds out she's pregnant, and he's like, I want to live long enough to see my child born.
Yeah.
Then the same movie happens. Then at the end, he gets the call saying, and if you want to make it a happy ending so everyone's crying because they're so in love, then he gets a call saying, you're not dying.
Yeah.
We made a mistake. You're not dying. Dude, he literally is like, I want to put a hit on myself. Oh, hold on a second. Ring. Hello? Oh, you're not dying. Okay, cancel. No, too late. It's like, this is how silly it was.
You know what? They should have done it because, like, with his disease, he was going to start to, his body was going to start shut down. I thought it would have been interesting. Like, he had to fight these guys, like, and he's,
yeah, if it actually did shut down and things happened, and he's actually vulnerable in the fight scene.
He didn't have the disease.
And that made it more of a chance for these guys to do what they, they
even play with the whole fact of people that get on fucking WebMD and they're like, oh, I have that. He's reading all the things that is supposed to happen.
Yeah.
If you read it, he doesn't have any of that.
No. Right.
And then
he says his handshake.
Yeah, he's holding his hand out, and it's like, I
have FND, shaking. My hand shakes when I get anxiety.
And he talks to Ben Kingsley, and he's like, my hand's already starting to shake. No, it's fucking not, you fucking idiot.
You have anxious.
None of those symptoms at all.
Get Charlie a golden ticket, guys. He's got to go.
The doctor didn't, but the doctor, in his defense, the doctor didn't even check for those. So
no. What doctor are you going
we
to?
put the wrong label on your tube.
Yeah.
Oh.
At least let me think he was like a doctor that's in the, the assassin group or some shit. Right. No, this is like a regular ass doctor who's like, that's hell of scars you got there, bud. I'm not 100% sure what's wrong with you, but we'll get you figured out. You have exactly 3 months to live, sir. What the fuck? Yeah, 3 months. And then 24 hours later, we made a mistake.
Son of a bitch.
And how did they know they made a mistake? Then I started to think of the logistics of the lab. Like, how did that
how did they know
the other guy died? They were like, you died, bro.
Yeah.
You got an eye problem.
This blood doesn't look like this blood. Oh, shoot.
Fucking dies. He's just dead. And they're like,
don't they put a label on it or something?
The guy showed up with his hand shaking and that, and they're like, oh shit, there can't be two guys like this.
Damn it.
They do put labels on it, and they literally say it in the movie. They must have switched the labels.
This other guy thinks he's fine, and he's the one that's going to die in 3 months.
Did it quality control on the
I want the movie that they're both assassins, but they both get different diagnoses, but it's for the other person. So one thinks he's dying,
I just want a better
and the other one's fine. And
that would be a Richard Pryor and Gene Wilder movie.
That's right.
Speak no evil, speak no evil. That's exactly what.
I saw that in the theater, buddy. I saw that in the theater. I can't believe it.
God bless us too. Rest in peace.
Wolverine's question.
Oh yeah, Wolverine's going.
Yes, I've seen Short Time when it came.
I have never heard of it actually.
Yeah, it's Dabney Coleman if you know who he was.
Yeah.
It's he tries to do like a little bit of the action thing, and he thinks he's dying. Yeah.
I
watched that now. I probably would enjoy it more than the Killer's Game. Listen, like I said, we've been bashing it, but like I didn't hate it. I
still don't hate it.
Severely disappointed.
I won't watch it again. But I don't hate it.
The thing was, like, I had no expectations going in. I was like, I'm curious. I'm going to watch it. Let's see. And I watched it, and it ended. And I was like, well, that was the thing.
I think I did because of all the people that were in it. I was like, and they did get their moments, but it was just like, there's his moment. There's his moment. Oh, he didn't get his moment. It's like, okay.
Well, that's what it is. It was a movie of moments, but you gotta tie all that in. So I give a shit about the moment.
Oh, now they have to fight. Okay, here it comes. Oh, he did the Guyver kick. Oh, now he got a bone stuck up his mouth. Okay, cool.
Of all the movies I've seen this year, this is one of them.
Like that.
This is a movie. It
is a movie.
Yes, it is a feature length.
This is why when people ask me, Charlie, why don't you watch new movies? There you go.
There you go.
Right
The
here.
Ministry,
back
the
my
Ministry of
action movie.
Ungentlemanly Warfare, that was really damn good, and that's a new movie that
That
really
That was one of the better films of this year.
Surprise.
Beekeeper
That
was this
should've-
year.
Beekeeper.
Shit,
I
that
might
should have
just put
came
this
out in
on
theaters.
just to get the
Yeah.
bad taste out of my mouth.
We did get we got
Underrated.
Ministry
La-
in theaters
You
down here.
Oh, you
Yeah.
did get it. Okay,
See,
I was
we
gonna say
didn't,
that-
We
yeah.
did. I saw that
Okay.
in the theater. Yeah, we did.
Oh,
get
okay,
it.
okay.
Another good one.
You
was
guys, I don't know what the hell's going on with the
No,
Canada
no.
and stuff like. with
Land
light.
of Bad was really good.
Oh,
That's one of my
that's-
favorites of this year.
It's
that
the
was awesome.
Beekeeper and Land of Bad right now is my favorite action movie.
So I haven't watched
and
that one yet. I need to.
Oh, you need to
Uh,
watch. You want to get the bad taste of this movie out of your mouth?
The
Fucking
Shadow
watch that
Strays
movie.
as well. I love The Shadow Strays.
I have to watch that still. I haven't watched it yet, but I'm excited about that one because you loved it, and I'm
Because it was violent as fuck. Yeah.
Yes.
Land
So
of
that's
Bad.
what
Okay, I'll check that one out. I'll
Yeah, it's on
I'll,
Netflix.
I'll borrow it from the library.
Good
Well,
idea.
It's got
Borrow
Liam
that one for me,
Hemsworth in
J-Man.
it,
No,
like,
my-
but Milo Ventimiglia, he should do more movies like that. 'Cause he's fucking awesome in that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I
It
mean,
needed
but,
It needed a script. Yeah, it needed a script.
It totally
better
needed a
script.
script.
Okay, better or a script.
I think a script would have
I
helped.
think
a
it was
lot
studio. Like he was saying about this is JJ Perry's second film. I don't think it was his fault. I think it was just studio interference and them wanting.
No, I don't think so.
They
I think
wanted
it's
to,
his
they wanted
fault.
to pertain to all these audiences, which it didn't matter anyways because movies still make dick at box.
But it has his flavor from Day Shift, and Day
It
Shift
does.
was good.
But that worked better for some
But
reason.
it
did
did.
work
It was
better.
funny, but in a good way. It's hard
Yeah.
to
Like it was.
I've
Well,
watched
it
these.
sets it up. The movie starts out at one tone, and it carried it throughout the movie, and it
Mhm.
worked. This one set up 5 different tones and just up and,
And
down
anytime
the
you give
entire
Snoop
thing.
Dogg a minigun, that's props in my opinion. You
Yeah.
give Snoop Dogg a minigun.
J-Man, don't hate me. I still haven't put Furiosa on yet.
Oh, I really liked Furiosa.
I haven't
man.
watched that one yet.
I own it though. 4K
Yeah.
is sitting up there.
So
Have
me
you
too.
opened it?
And
Have you
Monkey
opened
Man
it?
was good. Yeah.
It's out of the plastic. It's out of the plastic.
I'm unpacking mine. I'm like, there's a lot of movies I have still in the plastic.
With that one, I don't know, man. I thought it's a bit long, but other than that, man, there's some
Which one?
Furiosa.
Oh yeah. yeah.
I
I'm
think there's
not
some
avoiding
crazy-
it for like oh man, what if it sucks? I just literally have not. When
Yeah.
I watch a Mad Max movie, like when I watch Fury Road, even now, I make it an event.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
Like
agree.
I fucking pull my recliner right in front of the middle of the
Let's
fucking
watch
TV.
them all together.
Take your
I
pants
give it-
off.
Hell yeah. Nice hard drink, and and I watch Fury Road because to me it's an experience, and I kind of want to do that with Furiosa because I missed it in theaters. So I was like,
Yeah.
I want to do that. Monkey Man's on Max or Prime, or I think it's Prime right now. I
Peacock.
We
need to
haven't, we
watch
haven't
it.
discussed Monkey Man yet, but we all like it, so there.
Yeah.
That's
Everyone
a
liked
dark,
it, so.
that's there's no comedy in that motherfucker. That's
Yeah,
Right.
see,
It's a real movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and spoiler alert, he dies in the
yeah.
end.
He falls over again. The credits roll.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
After the credits, he gets up and it's fine.
He brushes
Yeah.
him
Yeah,
up to
you didn't stay to the end.
Yeah, you gotta stay till the end, and then he gets up and it's fine.
Yeah.
It's an after credits scene. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, let's go to McDonald's. It's like,
But see, that was good because like it also went a bit metaphysical as well. Whenever he's like healing and then having the visions and all this stuff, and I loved all that because it was kind of like old school action as well. It's kind of like this Vision Quest kind of thing or whatever, and great violent action where it was advertised it was going to be kind of a John Wick movie, and it was lazy comparisons where it's like all modern critics do that. It's like, oh, this movie's going to be the new John Wick or John Wick this, or it's a female John Wick and this and that, whatever, and they did it with everything. And like, yeah, action movies existed before John Wick.
Right.
they did.
Yeah.
No, I
got
just
it-
checked, guys. I just checked on Google. No, they didn't exist. I just
No,
Oh, really?
no,
I always loved it. Damn it, it
John Wick was
all
the
a dream.
first one. Sorry.
Just
Yeah.
like there was no female action heroes.
None.
Yeah.
Yeah.
until
Cynthia
whoever
Rothrock
says it next.
existed,
Yeah. Okay. That makes
Yeah.
total sense. That tracks.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, Boy Kills World. I watched about 10 minutes of that. I thought, I'm not sure about this one.
I still
I
haven't
like
watched
Boy
it.
Kills
I
World.
haven't watched it yet.
I
Not that
mean-
Yeah,
I
it was.
wanna-
I bought it anyway. I
You go into that movie because I knew what to expect going into that movie, and I'm like,
I know
yeah,
what the premise is, so it's like I'm not going to be shocked by anything that happens in it. I just, again, time, fucking, where we
No, I
stream
get
and
that, yeah.
podcasts and stuff
life
like
gets
that.
in the way.
If I had to write articles for every goddamn movie that came out, even action related, I would need it to be my full time job. Like
Yeah.
seriously, just with the amount of
And
shit.
mine's
we
not,
have
and I
to do.
still managed to do it somehow.
I'm trying to, like doing this, like I always joke. I don't watch action movies because I do this website.
Yeah.
I don't have time to watch anything.
I know.
Well,
That's the thing. I've been so busy. I've been so busy like doing interviews and things lately that like I haven't been able to watch any horror movies this week. And I was like, this is Halloween week. I want to be watching all the Halloween movies, and I haven't got to watch any. So tomorrow night, I'm just going to watch the original Halloween. And that'll do.
I walked into the house. I got done watching this and telling Jackie I was going to stream, and they were just ending Maximum Overdrive. Like my younger kids, they were all sitting there watching it, and I was like, hell yeah, this is awesome. So I go get ready for the stream. I come back out, and Jackie had started Christine because my daughter's really into Stephen King movies. And I was like, shit, that's like my favorite. Even Stephen sent me a picture, him standing next to Christine. I was like, this is my
awesome, by the way.
favorite fucking movie. But I'm like, my son's like 12, my daughter's 15, and they're sitting there just enjoying Halloween. I'm like, I miss just watching movies for fun.
Yeah,
I enjoy it.
I miss it so much because like, oh, do you know, just when I was sent a screener, which was nice to be sent a screener for the Liam Neeson movie, but I was like, that's 2 hours I'm never getting back when I could have watched Halloween or something else, which I actually wanted to watch. And it does get a bit annoying sometimes whenever I just I want to watch all the fucking American Ninja movies or something instead.
Like, I got the screener for Armored. I'm like, oh, do I want to try this one? It's like the one with Sylvester.
Oh yeah, the Stallone one. Yeah, they sort of asked me, do you want to interview these guys? And I was like, no. Can you get me Stallone? Yeah. No. Oh, I think.
No, I know it's not, but I'm like,
We're on the list for Screenbox, and they'll send me the monthly thing, and 90% of the time I'm just like, nah, I don't have time. I don't feel like it. Like that one doesn't even sound good. Why do I even want to bother watching it? Because then I have to do a review. I don't have to review it good, but if I get the screener, I feel like I need to do an episode about it. And I just got to the point, unless it's something I really, really wanting to see, I'm just like, no, I don't give a shit.
So the trick is that every Saturday night and every Sunday night, I watch a movie that I want to watch that I'm not going to review or talk about. I just do it. That's it. So I've been going through my Giallo movies, and you just pick one and just stick to it. And then then you got something to look forward to. You know what? Whatever night works best for you. Maybe it's a Thursday night. You're like, okay, whatever. Say every Thursday night, I'm going to watch one movie that's just for me that I'm just going to watch. And my wife and I've been watching all the Conjuring Universe movies. I have one left.
That's awesome.
So
I really enjoy them.
No, not for me. I like the 2 nun movies, and that's it. The other ones are all like nothing happens. It's like this something moves. So I'm like, I don't care if something moves. I was like, all this ghost does is move my keys around. Where's my phone? Oh, the ghost moved it. It's like, okay, like Art the Clown will cut me in 50 million pieces. This ghost just moves crap around. I'm like, they're okay. I gave them all. They're all between like a 6. If I was going to rate them, they're all between like a 6 and a 7. Except for the nun movies, which are awesome because she has spells and makes shit happen and controls
guys.
The
nun sucked. I thought the nun was the worst one, and we were bored.
What?
It wasn't.
But it's in that castle. It's in the castle in the 50s. It's all spooky with all of the nuns and all that.
I took my daughter.
It's like the nun actually does something. Like the Conjuring ghosts don't do anything. No one ever dies.
Yeah, Annabelle never actually does anything. It'd be cool if Annabelle was, Chucky or something. But
no, the nun looks cool. She's a Funko Pop. I got the Funko Pop. She has spells and shit like that.
Oh well. Yeah, Jimmy. No, it's not. There's like 5 minutes of action in the entire movie. It's a drama where he's like terminally ill and trying to reconcile with his family, and that's basically what it is. And then there's like 5 minutes where he like does some stuff, and you're just like. It's probably one of my least favorite Liam Neeson movies, and I really wouldn't recommend it. I'm going to post a review tomorrow, but you get an early review. It's getting 2.5 stars. The acting is all right in it. Liam is good in it, and there are some nice visual ideas and things like that. But if you're wanting an action movie, this ain't it. So there you go.
J-Man will like this. I took my girl trick-or-treating at her school last week, and she's in the 4th grade, so she's 9. So we were talking 8, 9-year-olds, and there was a kid dressed up as Art the Clown.
Oh my God! Wow,
I was like, "Yeah, there you go."
I've seen little kids doing it, which I mean, they haven't seen the movies; they don't know what's going on.
More than likely not. But I
asked them. I go, have you seen those movies? It's like, oh yeah, I love them. I'm like, okay.
What grade?
4th grade.
How old are you in the 4th grade?
My daughter's 9. She's not even 10 years old yet.
Wow, that's outrageously horrendous parenting.
That's bad parenting.
That's terrible.
Dude, there's some out there though, man. There's some.
Oh, yeah.
That's absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
I told them it's fake. They understand. And then
He just cut a woman in half. It's
10
not
years
real.
later, I don't know why I didn't know he was a psychopath. And why
Why he put that chainsaw up that guy's ass in real
don't
life? But I didn't get it
know.
from a movie.
Why did he castrate that person? Oh, because he watched the
I had no idea he had these tendencies. It's beyond me.
Yeah. On that note.
So anyway, so next week we're going to be talking Tango and Cash, which I'm looking forward to. But before we go, Steve and Jay, you went to Frightmare in the Falls this past weekend, which I didn't go to because I couldn't afford it. But you got to meet some people, so tell us what happened.
Well, Frightmare on Sunday is the best convention. There's nobody there. People were saying that the Shawnee Smith line was kind of long. There was like 15 people in it. I stood in line for Stephen Amell for 90 minutes while he was sitting there. It's like I was number 200 or something. It's like
that's a long line.
That's a
Fan
real
Expo.
long.
You can wait for like hours to meet anybody. But Frightmare was great last year.
Yeah, Frightmare is and Sunday it's crazy. Like we met everybody and talked to. It's like that last year we went. You guys are waiting for me to finish. They're like, are you finished talking to this person yet? We have to go. And I'm like, when have you ever told the celebrity, I'm sorry, I have to go? I'm so sorry.
I got a tight schedule here.
I got a tight
You want to have
schedule.
some dinner? You want to come to dinner?
Here's
Well,
my
I did
number.
I did that
Call me later.
twice. Neve Campbell last year at the Fan Expo. I was really looking forward to meeting her, and she fucking didn't show up late, or she showed up late even, and she never even showed up. And I was waiting to go meet somebody else, and I was waiting for like an hour, and she still hadn't shown up. I was like, fuck this. You're really famous for the Scream movies and nothing else. Go fuck yourself. So I will never go even to the bottom of the street. Or I break wind in her general direction.
Holy grail.
I have a picture. I wasn't impressed with her ever. It was really good. I would say meeting Ted Raimi was great. I got to ask him if he knows Ian Warrior Princess. I said, do you ever think Joxer would have got Gabrielle? And he was like, even if he did, he wouldn't know what to do with her. So I'm like, cool. And he basically slammed Joxer, his character from Xena. He just basically, he's like, he was whoring and he was a drunk and all this. He's like, who? He's like, everyone comes to me and says, oh, I love Joxer. I'd love to marry Joxer. He's like, really? Why? So I'm like, okay, cool.
I'm sure it paid for something though.
Shawnee was great. She took quite a long time to autograph my picture. I don't know why, but she was very meticulous about it. I asked her about being thrown into the needle pit in Saw 2, and she's like, yeah, it wasn't fun. I'm like, but it was fake, right? It was fake needles. She's like, it still wasn't fun. They had to take me out for a steak dinner afterwards. I'm like, okay. Costas Mandalore, who J-Man and I both met, was he was hilarious. I don't know, like he was a really cool guy. Danielle Harris was cool. I was weirded out because when we walked up, a couple guys were talking to her about Halloween 6, and we're like, why would you talk to her about Halloween 6? Like no one talks about Halloween 6. But she was cool. I expressed my admiration for her for Halloween 5. I don't think a lot of people do. And then Scout was awesome. I talked to her about Halloween 2 because I don't really like Rob Zombie's Halloween, so I talked about Halloween 2, and I'm like, yeah, it's really awesome.
She was the only reason I was going to go was to meet her. I interviewed her was a few months ago for Best Man. She was just wonderful, and I would really want to go. And I would have gone if there had been her and maybe Richard Dreyfuss had gone, but I knew he was going to fucking cancel. I knew there was no way, and that's why I never bothered buying a ticket because he always cancels. Because there was supposed to be at some other con a while back, and he cancelled. I was like, "Fuck this guy! He's never going to show up at any of these things." So I wish I'd gone to meet Scout and Daniela. That would have been cool. But
they had 0 people in line too. It's just like they're just there. You could just
were just there.
Shawnee Smith was the only one in line, and we were like 3rd and 4th in line.
Yeah,
because we went to her first. Before I go anywhere, the Saturday, because I'm in all these groups, I messaged every single person that went and posted a picture. Said how long was the line, how much was it, and then I can plan ahead to know. So everyone said Shawnee Smith's line was a bit longer. It's like, okay, we'll go to her first. And then, and then while I was holding Place of Mine, Steve could go to talk to Ted Raimi and come back. And I'm like, okay, we're still waiting. I was thinking maybe we should go, you know what I mean? Like you're trying to like figure out how to do it. And then it's like, okay, I think she's coming now. Okay, let's just wait. You gotta like, I'm very like anal and I'm very like, specific about how we can fit everything in. It's like, they've got a panel at 11:30. Okay, we got to make sure we hit them before the panel because then they're going to be gone for half an hour, right?
Yeah.
And so it's like, we just barely did. Steve couldn't get Scout. She went to the panel. I was like, that's okay. We got half an hour till she comes back. We'll be first when she comes back. We'll walk around, and we got the Terrifier pictures, and he got the Christine pictures and all that. So there was that.
That was awesome.
Yeah, no, look great. I'm hoping to get some good people next year because when I went last time, it was awesome. So I would like to go back again. But,
did you go to the general Niagara Falls convention, Owen? You didn't?
No, I've never been to that one. I know you have, but I've never been to that one.
That's the one where I talked to everybody.
That's when Dolph canceled this year.
Yes, that's the So I didn't go this time around because Dolph canceled. But when I went last time, that was the Terrifier 2 people.
Yeah.
And hell, we talked a long, except for Art, who had a big line. Everyone else, like Lauren, talked to her for a long time, and she was super cool. And like I got my autograph and talked to her and got pictures, and Steve got his, and then we were still talking to her like after that, like. Though it's still good on a Sunday, even that convention is still pretty decent. So see if you want to go next time.
The Lauren girl just got cast in like a legit movie.
I know. I'm so happy.
Yeah, they're all going to be stars now. Yeah,
they're all stars, and I've got all their autographs and all the. It costs $40 for the picture and the autographs. Like all this, it's like I got it all done when they were nobody. So that makes
$120 for an autograph.
For sure,
easily.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, so J-Man is doing a stream on Friday night comparing the two Ewok movies.
Yes.
And I was going to go, but I just haven't had time to watch them both.
I haven't watched them yet.
So.
I'll try.
If
I'll
I
see
can
if I
watch
can
them. I'll go to that one, J-Man.
It's they're both they're short too.
They're
right?
short.
Like they're all
They're
I
not even an hour and a half each, are they?
So,
they're like
maybe like 35 minutes or 34 minutes or something. Like that. But there's credits, which is like,
4 minutes.
I have them. I got the old DVDs, the 2-pack.
Still buying. And they're on Disney Plus as well, so that's fine.
They are.
But, so next week we're talking Tango and Cash. We're taking it back to when action movies were at their best. Sylvester Stallone and Kurt Russell. So looking forward to chatting about that. Now, I haven't actually watched that for a couple of years, so looking forward to
watch it again.
This weekend.
I can't wait to watch that one.
Been a while.
Watched it last year.
Yeah, it's just going back to these old movies. It's like a warm hug, you're just reuniting with old friends or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So
they're like, we're sorry about the Killers game, guys.
We'll go back to normal.
We're sorry we complained today, guys.
We'll get back to being positive next week.
That's it.
All right, anyway, guys, thank you all for watching
today because we were complaining about something.
Yeah, we're actually complaining, so we're not boring.
We were negative, right?
Mr. Troll Guy.
I don't know.
Anyway. Oh, wait, hold on.
Fuck you.
Yes.
Anyway, so remember, if you are watching, remember you are the Action Elite, and we will see you next week.